Chat, I have a serious confession to make. Usually, I am the one that is bathing you in wisdom and knowledge. But today, we're going to do it in reverse. Today, I'm going to come to you for help, and I'm asking you for some advice. Hopefully, it's going to be good. If I want to see a shirtless man, does that make me gay? Like, does that make me some sort of ally? Do I need to start voting Democrat to pursue the politics of my new identity? No, but it's true. I want to see a shirtless man. Not just any man. It's a specific individual. I want to see Mr. Avocado. I want to see him shirtless. Like, V, why? Why the desire? Why do you want to see Mr. Avocado shirtless? Well, let me show you. There's a video that he posted where apparently, what is his name? Nikocado Avocado. I used to see him in memes, right? He was the, alright, here we go. Right. The gentleman that's a little bit more on the plump side. Okay. So, he released a video saying that he is 2 steps ahead. And everyone is saying like, Nikocado, shocking transformation. Because allegedly what he did is that he pre-recorded a lot of content. And he was releasing old videos for years. Okay, everything that he was releasing was years old. And the reason for this is that he lost weight. And now he is shocking people. He is shocking people with the fact that he lost this much weight. Yesterday he was still chubby, but today he is thin. And this is the thing, right? It's like he fooled people. He's 2 steps ahead. I want to see him shirtless. I want to see the excess skin to believe this. Like, what is more believable? That he is using some sort of filter or AI? I mean, we are in 2024. AI technology exists. And the way the image moves just doesn't sit right with me. I refuse to believe it. I want to see the flappy skin. And only then. I am, you know, like when Jesus came back to earth. And there was one apostle that just didn't believe it. Like, he saw Jesus, like, I want to see the wounds, Jesus. I want to see the wounds. I'm that guy. I want to see it. I want to see it. I don't believe it. Yes, I do think it's a very deep, incredibly deep fake. I may be wrong, though. I may be wrong. He may show Novi. Etelaki. And he rips off the shirt, and I'll be like, oh, you know, the same way that the apostle fell in his knees when he saw Jesus, when he saw, like, the wounds from the nails. It was like, ah, Savior, how could I have doubted you? So what it's called, Wegavi, I lost 90 labs already. I gave myself 1 injection a week. Is this like a medicine? I mean, look, if it's a miracle drug, that would be another explanation. If you found like a miracle drug that messes with your internal chemistry, then okay. But the idea that like, okay, so like he had drama with other content creators, like, is that fake as well? Like was he actually creating fake drama with content creators back in 2018, and he was like, look, in 2021, we're going to release these videos and we're going to pretend that we're having this beef. But we need to seal the documents. We need to seal them and keep them hidden into this time capsule. And the camera that he recorded, right? Like, when did 4K became a thing? Because, like, before 2020, 4K was actually expensive. Do you guys remember when, like, buying a 4K camera was a thing and everyone was like, "Blah, you got a 4K camera. Oh, I can see your pimples. I can see every single strand of hair. You got cheese in your beard." You know? So like, he bought, like, the most expensive equipment from back then in order to, huh? Look, I'm just going to say, if he actually did this as a social experiment and it's legit, kudos to him. Kudos to him. I mean, That's a very interesting brainstorming thing. But I probably think it's a deep fake. Very deep. Very deep. You can tell anyone who's on these meds, says SRC. So the industrial pharmaceutical complex has concocted a medicine to lose weight? Well, that would be a good business, right? So first of all, make everyone obese, and then sell the pills that makes everyone just normalize themselves again. Anyway, a lot of people were watching... shut up. A lot of people were watching... Alright, sorry. Usually I manage to maintain a sense of composure before announcing something. Like when I make streams, I usually watch the material before the stream, but today I didn't, so I haven't got it out of my system. It's still funny. Ben Shapiro. The facts over the feelings. Triumphant. He was talking about Tim Pool and other fellow content creators who have took money from Russia. They reached into the deep coffers of Vladimir Putin and they have enriched themselves. And Ben Shapiro is talking about this, and I want you to see. Take into account this is not edited, right? Like, this is directly from Ben Shapiro's own podcast.
It's frustrating to get entangled in whatever it is she's accused of being involved in.
Folks, our friends in Israel need our help now more than ever. If you're looking for a tangible way to support the Holy Land, you need to check out Artsa Box. Artsa brings the essence of Israel right to your doorstep. Every 3 months, you receive a carefully curated collection of authentic Israeli products. A treasure trove of handcrafted gifts, beautiful artwork, delicious foods, aromatic spices, and more. It's like taking a journey through the land of the Bible without even leaving your home.
I mean, look. To be fair, I find no contradiction here, right? Tim Pool was taking money from Putin, so he was taking money from foreign states, while Ben Shapiro wants you to give money to foreign states, right? It was just awkward timing, let's put it like, yeah, it was awkward timing. Like, for those of you who don't know why this is so funny, it's because with Ben Shapiro, you can actually witness a massive change in the content that he was presenting. So before the Israel-Palestinian thing, like, there are records of Ben Shapiro saying that Israel doesn't need help because they're already one of the strongest nations on earth. They have one of the strongest military. Like, you know, all of these far-right bigots, like, constantly bringing up Israel. Like, no, Israel is fine. He was, you know, associating himself with people like Candace Owens, and it was like a different type of content of facts over feels. And then Israel happens, and all of a sudden is like, if we do not give money now, World War III, the nukes, they have nukes, we need money, give money now. And then it's like, Candace Owens, what is she doing? Why is she still working here? Oh, Candace, you're having very anti-Semitic takes, Candace. So you can notice like a huge shift in tone, a huge shift in and also like people around him that were you know, releasing stuff like, I have it on good authority, like I was there and he said it. That they were like, yeah, he's not facts over feels as much as he used to be. He's still facts over feels, but now there are some feels over some facts. So this is why a lot of people are mentioning it. Now I do gotta say, in case you don't know my take regarding the whole Russia thing, it's like, why is it that all of a sudden the Department of Justice is upset that these content creators are taking money from Russia when a lot of other content creators and politicians are taking money from other states? I mean, there is a reason why AIPAC is one of the most successful lobby groups in the world, right? So, like, what are we talking about? And the answer is it's bureaucratic in nature. AIPAC and the other influencers, whether they're from Qatar or Israel, they declare that the money is from another country, right? So you need to just sign a piece of paper, but you need a license. You need a license. For some reason, the Russians didn't get the license. So it's bureaucratic in nature. That's my understanding of what has transpired, of what's going on. Holy shit, $50. Jesus Christ. SRC, thank you for the donation. V, not only that does Wegovy. Is that what it's called? Wegovy? Like, out of all the names for the pill, why can't it be like the liposuction Wegovy? Sounds like a Chinese thing. It's like WeChat. Wegovy. Work for weight. My A1C is normal. Blood pressure is good enough for my doc to start taking me off those meds, and other blood test results like liver functions are normal now. I'm okay being a druggie if this is the case. I don't know what to say. When I was in med school, we didn't study such pills. So I generally cannot tell you if it's good or not, or my professional opinion. Every medicine has some side effects. But hey, if it works for you and your doctor is fine with it, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Anyway. By the way, you know, you go on Twitter and you learn a lot of things. You educate yourself, right? Like, life is a constant pursuit of knowledge and education. And on Twitter, I saw this. Now, granted, it is from an image board, and it says, you realize playing shit like this makes you look incredibly creepy. Now, I gotta say that on image boards, there is a lot of mockery and jest, but like, if you go on Twitter, this is the vibe. That this is actually creepy. If you play this, it's creepy. You need to play this. This is what real men want. This is what men actually have in their fantasy, and I can tell you why. Okay? This is not for real men. This looks soft, gentle. This is rugged. This is strong and powerful. It's got the Californian American strength behind it. You can see that the entire Democratic Party is there. So when you're with this woman in your fantasy, you're hiding behind your skirt as she's mowing down Tyranids. This is what men covet. This is what men desire. So this is correct fiction. And I agree, this is not creepy. This is America. Fuck yeah. Like, you know, you go on Twitter and you learn things. You expand your universe. You become a lot more knowledgeable. Yeah, you like attractive women? What are you, some sort of weirdo? Some sort of creep? No, like real men, like strong, powerful. That's what men are attracted to. Honestly, like, I'm starting to troll leftists and they don't know how to respond. I'm saying that the characters that they're making are actually attractive, and they're like so fucking taken aback by it. They really don't know. Hold on, like, this one is good. I need to show this one on the screen right here. You're basically, you know, saying that, yeah, no, like, this is hot. Like, finally, America is capable of producing what my fantasies really are about. Like, this is what I fantasize. This is like, and leftists just taking it back. They don't know what to say. It's like, do I insult? Is he mocking us? Is he? Yeah. Greyhammer, that's good. Greyhammer. Fuck. Look, it's in the name. It's got hammer in the names. Whatever. Let's calm down. Let's By the way, you know, when I first saw this, I wondered, like, what is it with the animation? But then you realize, oh, okay, so apparently this is real, right? It
Wait,
talks.
Wombat.
Shut up. It talks about wombats, and apparently when they're attacked, it goes into its den, blocking the entrance. And apparently the bot is mostly made of thick cartilage, which is tough and hard. Predators cannot grab or scratch it. And if a predator tries to go after the wombat twerks the predator to death. I mean, that is an interesting self-defense mechanism. No, serious. It's like, what the fuck? They made Big Abby from The Last of Us 2 a Space Marine. It's kind of difficult to know if the comparison is right. Yeah, like which one is sexier, Abby, or the new female character from the Space Marine? Thank you for the 8 Polish zloty, Tomas. The twerking of death, yeah. I'm curious, like, if they could put that in a video game somehow. Like, they need to, like, find a way to insert it in a video game. Look at this one. Genshin Impact revenue increases by 8% in spite of active boycott against game and developers. So for those of you who don't know, Genshin Impact, a video game made in China, decided to have, like, an expansion pack where you have, like, an African-like continent. Right, so it's like, in their universe, there is a continent, which is like the New World, right? And that's like supposed to be with deserts and jungles, and it's like, I guess the equivalent of Africa. Now, the experts on Twitter, the anti-racists, which are the most well-versed people in racism that are alive today, have did the skin color tone study. So deep into the benches of academia, like Gandalf going into the library and doing the research, they concluded that, well, actually the characters aren't dark enough. I'm not kidding, like, this is the actual controversy, right? Like, they didn't like the fact that the minority characters in a fictional video game made by China aren't dark enough. So they were dark, but not enough. Not to American standards, right? Not for the Democrat. So they decided to boycott, but the boycott was very interesting. It's the most interesting boycott that I can possibly imagine. Because while they were boycotting, they were still playing. Like, if you can explain to me what type of boycott this is, and usually the cope was like, yeah, but the game is free, so I'm not buying. Shut the fuck up, man. Just shut the fuck up. So, like, they were boycotting while still playing the game, and the boycott was also promoting the game, because now everyone is talking, you know, like, Genshin Impact is trending. Like, I even forgot that this game exists. I didn't even know that, oh, yeah, like, I used to know because my wife was playing it. And it was like, yeah, Genshin Impact, that relaxing game with, like, you're in a fictional world and it's like an MMO. And it doesn't have characters that make you gouge your eye out. It's like, actually, it's got aesthetics, you know, everything is green, everything is lush, it's beautiful, the characters have personalities, kind of like the games that I used to play. But then I forgot about it. It's like, yeah, okay. I think, like, I remembered when an artist that was drawing Genshin Impact was arrested in China because you're not allowed to draw anything naughty in China. So apparently, now I hear about it again. How did I hear about it? Because people are moaning about it. Racismus. Racismus? Where do I buy? Oh, it's Genshin Impact. Oh, fuck. I mean, I don't really like it. Even though it has racismus, I mean, you know, I have to put it in the balance. And then I decided, no, I'm already playing too many games. I'm not. But still, it was tempting. It was tempting. So apparently it's got a 8% spike. Like 8% of people coveted racismus. There is a hole in the market. People want to buy racismus. If America isn't producing it, then they're going to import it from China. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah. Yeah, if you get feminists to boycott your game, maximum sales. There was another video, I'll probably discuss it tomorrow, from some channel. And the title of the video is, Why Diversity is Important. And I'm like, wow, finally, I will learn. Because up until now, for those of you who don't know, the entertainment industry in America knew worldwide success. I mean, every child around the world has heard about Disney. In fact, it was the dream of every child from around the world to visit Disney. And everyone knew about Superman. Everyone knew about World of Warcraft, right? Like, America was dominating not just its own country, but the world scale. And in 2018, some very intelligent people came along. It's like, we need diversity. It's like, why? Well, if you cater to women, you keep all the men, and then you get all the women, and it's good for business. People want to see themselves. It's good for business. That's what they would say. It's good for business. Business hasn't been good since 2018. A lot of studios went bankrupt. Manga is now dominating the American entertainment. At baseball games, instead of seeing Walt Disney characters, you get to see Gargura. It's not... So now they can't say it's good for business, so they just say diversity is good. But why though? Like, they can't follow it up. They don't have an argument for that. I'm still waiting. If there is one, I've yet to hear it. But it's usually because people want to see themselves, right? So people haven't invented the mirror in America. The Democrats are like vampires, I think. Like, if you look in the mirror, you don't see yourself, so you need you need fiction. But like, seriously, like, imagine the mental retardation of this statement, right? Like, imagine if you see a guy saying, yeah, I can't watch the NFL. Why not? Because I can't see myself there. I'm a fat, middle-aged, white dude, and when I watch the NFL, I just see all of these people that are fit. They're people of color. I just don't feel represented in the NFL. I can't watch it. How can I be entertained if I don't fucking see myself over there, right? Like, does that make any sense? Anyway, right, so this is the argument that they used. It must be a very solid argument. But there was a video, and it's like, why is diversity important? And in the video I'm watching, and it's like 5 minutes in, and I still haven't heard the answer to the question, and eventually there is a black gentleman that comes up and he says, I don't have to explain why diversity is important. And I'm like, motherfucker, yes you do, like, now you actually have to, because it's in the title, why is diversity important, and you're in the fucking video with that title, unless you're clickbaiting, yes you do. I still haven't found out, but one day maybe I will. Dr. Disrespect came back, another controversy. And I already made a video. I said what I feel about it, but what's interesting is that a lot of people were upset that I made fun of the picture. So let me see if I can find the picture. What is the picture from Dr. Disrespect? Oh my god, everyone is tweeting about it, but like, here we go, I found it. Now, it's obvious to anyone with 2 neurons to create a synapse that I'm not serious when I was, like, I'm doing comedy. I'm doing a bit when I said, and you know what, like, actually, now it's not comedy, it's true. The picture is a bad message. Like, I'm sorry, bad PR, bad optics. The angle from which the person is sitting at this fucking table makes him look like he's a young adult on puberty blockers. Like, look at the angle, right? Like, you're sitting literally in front of the table, and you have to look up. You gotta lean your head back in order to see the man's chin. You can't even fucking see his eyes. Like, you're at the side, like, look, you're almost just on top of his belly button. I'm sorry, like, I don't know how else to explain this. It's like you're playing with Andrew the Giant. But I hear people in the chat say, no. You see, the joke is that he is very tall. Like, Dr. Disrespect, have you seen him in real life? He's tall. How does this fix the fact that you're literally in front of the checkers? Unless this is like a massively high table and you are playing with Andrew the Giant, or you're sitting on the ground, optically speaking, this is not a good look, given the controversy that he is fucking responding to. Don't ruin my joke, because my joke is perfect. I made the best fucking joke in the universe. This 100% best joke. They're like, look, even if he is tall, you're literally at the side, like, your head is at the same height as the chess pieces. God. Now I know why it looks like this. He probably put the camera on the table and just... But still, we gotta read the room, Chad. We gotta read the room. It's literally bad optics because the optical illusion. Yeah. This shit take of yours is on par with the 2 scoops from MSM. Look. I'll tell you something, alright? When the MSM went with the 2 scoops, they were serious about it, but it's obviously that I'm joking. Right? Like, I'm not looking into it. I'm not saying, oh, see, he actually is hiding what he knows, but No, I'm just saying the picture is not the best one that he could have taken. Right? But the MS media with the 2 scoops, they were like, well, why did he take 2 scoops? What is inside his head? What is he thinking about? What? People just don't like my jokes anymore. I don't know. It's the depth of field, yes. Why couldn't they have done it so that the shadows cover his face and not the height? I don't know. Also, both sides have the same color. That is true, though. But, like, if you're playing chess and checkers, then it doesn't really matter the color, does it? To be honest, like, this is not even my joke. I saw it on Twitter. Like, there were people that were showing the reverse of the image where there's like a little girl playing. Romanian comedy just doesn't translate. I'm actually curious. Did people accuse Nick of deepfaking the thing? Hold on. Nope, no wonder. I'm the only person on the internet. I'm going to get egg on my face because I'm not really sure. Like, chat, seriously, am I wrong for questioning it? Because, like, I know just like questioning something is bad, but like, seriously, right? Which is more likely, that this man was pre-recording videos for enough footage to have like years worth of YouTube footage where he is plump. And he just held on to the reveal and did this social experiment where he fooled everyone? Or is this a deep fake? Like, is this some AI level? I don't know. It's kinda interesting. He looked like this years ago? Let me check. Dude, this is the previous video that he released. Like, this is what he released 7 months ago. Right? So, I don't know, it just looks weird. And he also got into controversy with a lot of content creators, which means that the controversy was pre-recorded, which means that he told the other content creators, hey, like, just keep it hidden. Keep it hidden, and we released the footage in 2021. And 7 months is enough, but it's hard. Dude, if you lose that much weight in 7 months, it's actually unhealthy. Like, you're going to get a lot of imbalances. Especially electrochemical imbalances. With ions and shit, with potassium and sodium. Yeah, this is why I want to see him shirtless. This is why I want to see him shirtless. I want to see the sagginess. If I don't see the skin flapping, I don't believe it. Yeah, but again, it's like, just because he said it was fake drama makes it really weird. Because, like, imagine this, right? I find another content creator, Spoon. Right, so I go to Spoon, and I say, Spoon, let's record some fake drama. We get like some back and forward. We record like 4 or 5 videos and we're having this drama together. But we're going to release it in 2026. I mean, I guess. Why do you risk your health for the drama? Well, I do think that he wasn't planning on gaining weight. I think that, he was overweight and he said, yeah, I'm going to lose weight, but if I'm going to lose weight, might as well do a social experiment or something like that. Like that would make more sense than, I'm going to gain a lot of weight and then I'm going to lose weight. Spoon doesn't do drama. Well, it's because I didn't piss him off. Like, dude, I have years of experience on the internet. If I want to piss someone off, I can do that. I'm really good at annoying people. Like, it's one of my main important skills. I don't have many skills, I don't know how to do it, but when it comes to pissing people off and annoying them, I can do it. I know how to do it. And if I were to try and piss off Spoon, yeah, I think I would be able to. V demands to see men shirtless. Not men plural. No, I think he is the only man that I want to see shirtless. That's it. There's no other man. Too late to review the Coach Red Pill drama? Well, look, my mama taught me something. Do not speak ill of the dead. And I'm doing my best not to. I do not want to talk ill of people that passed away. So, I can say that, and I still follow up the fact that, like what Coach Red Pill did doesn't make much sense to me. Like, if you're going to talk negative about the government of a country that's in the middle of a conflict, why would you do it from within that country? Like, imagine if China goes to war with the United States, and I travel in China, within China, and I talk ill about the government. Like, what do you think will happen? Why can't you talk shit about the government from outside the country? Like, you can still say the same thing. You don't need to be there. Like, he wasn't doing, like, recording of the actual combat. So it doesn't make sense to me. It's weird. Why couldn't he do it from Poland? I mean, he was already working online. He was already, like, uploading stuff, right? So, like, you can make money from online. Anyway. It's just, I don't get it. But other than that, I'm not going to say anything negative about his personality. What he did was dumb, but it also revealed a lot about the truth from Ukraine. And the nation is at war. I'm not going to start simping, but, like, what do you think would happen if in World War II you go into Britain as a German journalist and you start shit-talking against the government and you try to demoralize the troops? Like what do you think the British nation would do? What do you think in the United States they did in World War II towards people that were from Japan? I mean, like, is there actually, you know what? I will ask it differently. Is there an exception to this? Like, is there an exception when a nation is at a war with another? And we're not talking about, like, America invading Iraq. Like, we're talking about, like, a existential conflict where the entire government can be toppled, right? Like, there is a risk of that. And you go there and you talk shit about that government. What do you think will happen? Like, is there a nation that would allow it on Earth in the history of mankind ever? If you can tell me one, I will be like, you know what? Yeah, fine. No, that's right. I was wrong. You are right. No, usually, even the United States, when you guys were in existential conflict with other countries, so I'm not talking about the war in Iraq or Vietnam or, no, like an actual existential threat, like World War II, even in World War I, actually, and it wasn't an existential threat back then, but still, like, if you would have lost the war, it would have been catastrophic. You had the Ministry of Censorship. That's what it was called. You had a guy running for president while within prison. And he was in prison because he had the audacity to free speech. Yeah, nations become very authoritarian during conflict. Everyone's always talking about the Japanese internment camp, but we had one in Texas for people of the National Socialist Party in Germany. There were a couple of things that a lot of leftists don't like to talk about, but after the war was over, there were certain internment camps that the Americans had for the Germans, and they left the prisoners. I mean, it's on Wikipedia, you can look it up. They left the prisoners to the elements. Like, there was nothing there. You just, like, put them in a place, not gave them food or anything, and just left them for the elements. That's not very talked about. But yeah, America was a different place during World War II. The Japanese camps were for Japanese Americans in general, not for political dissidents. To be fair, you know, like, the morality we have now didn't exist 60 years in the past. Like, the mindset that we have now and the morality and the values that we have now are brand new. Everywhere around the world. Except for the Middle East. I think they have still the same moralities that they always did. But generally speaking, yeah, like, the way we're thinking about things are very different now. You don't have to pay for war crimes when you win the war? Well, it's the saying that history is written by the victors, right? I mean, it's interesting because I remember Ben Shapiro was talking with a student. I mean, you have higher hopes for a student than you have for someone that didn't go to university. And they said that the Allies never committed war crimes. And Ben Shapiro had to bring up the bombings of Dresden. They were like, oh, what? What's she saying? You know, I actually like this. So, there's a list that goes around on Twitter, which is basically saying these are woke games, and the reason they don't recommend them. And the left is freaking out. Now, what's interesting is that these types of lists existed in 2018. I remember them, and it was, do not buy this game because this game has racist jokes in it, this game sexualizes women, this game such and such, and they had, oh, don't hire this guy, yeah, he may be the best coder, or he may be the best artist in the industry, but look what he tweeted on Twitter. And all these leftists were asleep, like they weren't concerned, but now, oh, someone is making a list of games, oh, look how much you're missing out, oh, this is insanity, this is crazy. It's like, hold on a little bit. Video games aren't food, right? Like, you don't have to buy them. They're entertainment. It's like, oh my god, you're missing out. Who cares? What is this consumerism bullshit? You're missing out. What the fuck does that mean? And by the way, the left, do you want me to bring up the Hogwarts video games? Let's bring up Hogwarts. I know you guys really love that game. Oh, you are missing out. What did you... See, the difference is that when these anti-woke grifters that are the brain meltors, the brain meltors do not go harassing people. I know that it's constantly claimed and stated, but there's no evidence. It's like, you know, the Democrats say, there's no evidence. Like, fact check, no evidence. This journalist has been harassed. There is no evidence. No evidence. I don't see people getting blocked. I don't see people getting banned. Right? Like, if journalists were getting harassed, all they had to do is to click the report button and then show the report. And it's like, look, I reported this account and they said such vile things to me and they got... No evidence, none of that. I haven't seen Elisa Mercante, you know, like, she never did that. She never, like, reported someone and then show, like, look, I reported this person, bam. I mean, I'm pretty sure she would love to do that if that's true, right? I haven't seen receipts. They don't even bother doing that. Like, in the past, they would at least send it to themselves, right? Like, they would use another email, send some harassment over. Oh my goodness, look at the vile things that I'm getting over the internet. They're not doing that anymore, right? Meanwhile, let's look at Hogwarts. The VTubers that were getting harassed, they showed receipts. The harassment was happening in real time. People could see just how, like, deranged some left-leaning people were because VTubers want to stream Hogwarts. So don't give me the bullshit. It's like, oh, you're the brain melters. Oh, you're melting the brain. You have no brain to melt. There is no brain to melt for you because you have none. You're harassing VTubers. What are we talking about? Blacklist users, perfectly fine. Yes, blacklist games, oh, that's too much. Like there was recently a guy that was making a game which was like a medieval roguelike title. And part of it was that you're supposed to get married and have kids. And you're basically like following their legacy like Crusader Kings, right? Like similar to that. And there's this guy like, can you add LGBT relationships in the game? Because, like, I don't feel represented. And if I were to feel represented, that would be so swell. And the guy is like, yeah, no, like, look, it's a lot more difficult than you think. Like, the purpose of the relationships is to have, like, to continue the legacy. I would have to change the code. Like, maybe in the future, but not right now. Oh my god, you're so homophobic. I can't even, like, how dare you? Do you know how homophobic that is? Like, how can you? So, they run this harassment campaign against this developer, and there are other people that are more educated, and it's like, oh, this developer doesn't understand. It's not just his customer that he is alienating. He is blacklisting himself from the entire industry. No one respectable enough will ever want to work with such a piece of shit. And it's like, oh, okay. Now, the game is actually skyrocketing in sales. Everyone is buying it. Everyone is talking about it. And where are the brain melters? Where are, it's like, oh, like, how, it's like, you're missing out on a good developer if you don't want to hire the guy. Death of the author is very popular with the left. Oh, like, fun fact, right? They gaslit themselves in order to believe that they're media literate. Like, they even coined the term for themselves, right? Like, they're human beings just like us, but they have the ability to understand fiction much better than you and I can. So they were like, oh, Fallout is actually an anti-capitalist game. And I'm struggling to see how the fuck did they get that point. Because in the beginning of the game, it says, war never changes. So it literally states that the purpose of the game is to show human conflict. It's like, human beings, as a species, are very territorial. The territorial problem, it leads to war. And war is always horrible. Like, that is the purpose of Fallout. And if you play Fallout, especially the first and the second, it shows unequivocally that capitalism isn't the problem. Like, it does show that, yes, like, America used to be this capitalistic nation that had imperial tendency, but now it's gone. So now you have tribalism, now you have gangs, now you have, like, all, you know, communal villages and all the other shit. And you know what else you have? You have war. Like, despite the fact that capitalism is gone and people now have, like, new ways of government, they're still evil. Tribes are still killing each other, and you still have slavers running around. And you can say, well, yeah, but like communism would be the solution. But like, no, within the Fallout story, China, a communist nation, is also aggressive. Is also doing the same shit that America is doing. So like, how can you look at the game and say, yeah, this is an anti-capitalist message? So basically what happens is that the creator of the game, the actual creator of the game comes out and says, yeah, like, we didn't think about anything anti-capitalist when we made the game. We just wanted to make a game that's promoting the idea that war is bad. Literally my take, and I haven't spoken with the man, but I'm not a media literate. I'm not that well versed in order to understand, right? I'm a brain melter, I guess. Do you know what they did? They banned him from Reddit. They banned him from Reddit. From the actual Fallout fan group, you know, like before, it used to be that if you have a fan group Like, let's say that I have the Star Wars fan club, right? And it's not official, it's something that I make, and a lot of people join, and we are all talking about Star Wars, and you have George Lucas coming there. Like, everyone would treat George Lucas with respect, right? Everyone would be like, oh my god, this is George Lucas, and let's ask him questions. Hey, George, what did you think about this? What did you think about that? Who shot first? Did Han Solo shoot first, right? Imagine banning George from that event. What type of Star Wars fan would do that? Are you really a fan if you're willing to do that? Like, if you generally have, like, the person that created the franchise that you're a fan of, and you spit on them and you're throwing them out. Are you actually a fan? But they're media literates. They understand much better than the author himself. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are times when it can happen. It can happen that the author themselves are so moronic that they don't know what they're doing. The perfect example is the movie Barbie. Like, Barbie is supposed to be a feminist film, but I do not think you can find a stronger anti-feminist film in the world. Like if you get Karen Strawn and all her MRA activists together, and you're like, create the most anti-feminist film that you can possibly imagine, I don't think she can do it. I don't think she can challenge Barbie. Because what is Barbie about? It's a fictional universe where all the Barbies, they live in houses, and they talk to each other, and they're very friendly with each other, and they're living a dream like a fantasy series. And all the Kens, they're shirtless, living on the beach like hobos, and the only thing that they want is to have a Barbie acknowledge their existence. That's it. Like, that's what they live for. Like, that is their only pursuit in life, is to have a Barbie acknowledge their existence. And most Barbies are even annoyed by the Kens. It's like, ugh. So one Ken goes into the real world, and then when he comes back, he's like, yeah, we are kind of oppressed here, aren't we? Right? Like, we listen to the Barbies and we're shirtless and homeless. This is not okay. Let's have equality. So, like, all the Kens, they put it up to a vote. They're not like deciding, oh yeah, we're going to take over Barbie Land. No, like, they're putting it up to a vote, and they want to vote for a new system. Now, one Barbie is very unhappy. All the other Barbies are fine, by the way. Like, this is another thing that the movie shows. Like, if it was a feminist film, you'd at least have the Kens bring fascismus into Barbie Land, and you'd have the Kens oppress the Barbies. Like, at least show some malice. No. They're not doing that. They're showing that, no, actually, all the Barbies are happy now, and all the Kens are happy. But there is one Barbie that's unhappy because her Ken doesn't love her. Her Ken doesn't love her. So what does she do? She kidnaps the president, brainwashes the other Barbies, uses her feminine charms and influence in order to get the Kens to fight each other, brings absolute chaos and anarchy to Barbie Land, and completely destroys the place. And once she destroys the place, what does she do? She leaves Barbie Land. She doesn't even want to live there. How is this, like, not the best anti-feminist message that you can find? It's like, look, son, if you know, like, when your son is 16, you watch that movie with him, and you're like, look, son, this is made by a feminist. This is what they actually believe, and you show them, look, it's made by an actual feminist. So let's discuss the movie. What did you notice? Right. So, like, when everything was working fine for more than 90% of the people, and everyone was happy, what does she do? She subverts. She kidnaps. She does crime. And what are the results of her actions? And again, like, this is a movie. This is not real events. This is from the mind of a feminist. This is what they believe, right? So, like, what happened? Well, she destroys everything and then she leaves. She didn't achieve the utopia. It's not that, like, oh, well, 90% of people were happy and she wanted 100% to be happy. No one was happy. But at least she was satisfied that she ruined it for everyone else. So there are examples where you can look at and you can say, yeah, I can definitely see situations where the author didn't know what they are doing. But I don't think the Fallout one is one of them. Best capitalists of the galaxy, Ferengi, rules of acquisition, rule 34, what is good for business, rule 35, peace is good for business. Yeah, the Ferengi were like the Star Trek controversy, weren't they? Because the whole idea of the Federation was that you need to, like capitalism bad, and you need to achieve peace, and you need to achieve harmony, and through the magic of socialism, you have spaceships, right? And yet the Ferengi are hyper-capitalists, and they have spaceships just fine. In fact, they even have an empire. Yeah, the Ferengi, a lot of time, I've been watching The Next Generation. And a lot of time they're evil for the sake of being evil. But, normally as a race, they wouldn't be necessarily evil. They would be like mercenaries. You gotta pay them in order to obtain something from them, right? I don't know. It's just like out of all the races in Star Trek, there are two that really bother me, because the other ones make sense, but like the Ferengi and the Borg do not make any sense to me. Like the reason the Borg don't make any sense is because the writers wrote them overpowered as fuck, to the point where I genuinely think that the Borg would even be able to fare pretty well in the Warhammer 40k universe too. So, the first encounter with the Borg, right? Their ships are much faster than anything that the Federation has. Their weapons are much powerful than anything that the Federation has. Their shields are more durable than anything that the Federation has. They are able to assimilate. So, like, if you manage to invent some technology that they don't understand, they should be able to assimilate it and then reproduce it. They can capture people and then just know what those people were thinking and use their knowledge to associate it in the collective. I genuinely don't know how you can write something more OP. They are countless in numbers. They have almost infinite resources, right? Like, this is the way that it was written in the beginning, right? Like, take into account that they had to nerf them in order to make them more manageable. But basically, yeah, like, they're kind of like the Tyranids mixed with the Necrons. Like, a normal drone is stronger than a human, faster than a human, more intelligent than a human. It's like, okay. So basically the way they nerfed them is to give them a queen. Because up until the queen, they were like the perfect communists. They were like the communist utopia. Like, all drones are equal, all drones share knowledge, all drones are good at everything. Like, they had the perfect equality, right? So they had to give them a queen so that you defeat the queen and then the Borg shot down, basically. But, they also had to do the shit. It's like, well, actually, you know, their shields aren't that powerful. Like, you can change the frequency. And it's like, how many frequency do the phasers have? Because every single episode, they would reset. It's like, let's assume that the phasers have like 1,000,000 frequencies, right? Well, after 1,000 encounters with the Borg, you would assume that they already went through all the frequencies. And they already, like, have their shields completely phaser-proof. How good was US media? In the 70s, Romania was worried about revolution because the government was going to stop buying Colombo TV episodes. They had the Star phonetically record the message in Romanian. I didn't know that. But no, American media was really great. Unfortunately, you know, I'm looking now at how stale American media is. Do you notice that there's no more genres of music that are coming out, or the ones that do are not very popular? Like, I just want you guys to think about this. Like, really think about this. So you have rock coming up, you know, and rock music is this, like, incredibly mind-blowing thing, and everyone loves rock music, right? And then you have metal, and it's all different genres, and, like, heavy metal, and it's, like, really an interesting thing, right? And people create their entire identities around heavy metal. Metalheads, right? And then you have even, like, stuff like dubstep. Yeah, I know not everyone likes dubstep, but it was a new genre, right? It was something new that was created. And I just can't think of any new genres that were created in the last 5 years or 10 years. Like, right now, do you know what I like to listen to? Anime intros. I listen to the intro of Attack on Titan. I listen to the intro of Overlord. But that's the type of stuff that I listen to. I'm pretty sure there are subgenres of shit, and I'm pretty sure there are some type of musics out there. I'm not saying that there isn't any. But man, like in the past, you had a genre of music that everyone knew, everyone talked about it, everyone identified with it. Interesting, you hate both. In the next generation, the Ferengi were supposed to be the main bad guys of the series. However, they came off as a joke, so then the writers created the Borg in order to make them the bad guys. But the Ferengi were good in Deep Space Nine. Yeah, it's kind of hard to write an evil capitalist race. Like, what is capitalism? Well, it allows people to trade freely. Okay, so it allows freedom. And that's bad. Only if you're a fascist. Like most of the time, the Ferengi weren't bad because they were capitalists. The Ferengi were bad because they were comically evil. It's like, oh, look, they're forcing their women to be naked. Like comic book level evil. But they weren't bad because, capitalism. It's like, oh, look, the Ferengi are allowing people to trade. I guess, like, if you wanted to make the Ferengi bad, you'd probably have, like, a major conflict and they're selling weapons to both sides. Right? But even then, it's like, yeah, they're selling weapons to both sides. I mean, you can buy them from them as well, They're profiting off of war. Yeah, I guess it's evil, but it's not like Borg level evil, It's like manageable evil, basically. Yeah, the Ferengi were bad because greedy. I mean, look, I get it, but, like, you can't really make it as a... I mean, the Federation can be also considered greedy. Oh, look, the people are dying on that planet, but they don't have warp technology yet, so we're not going to give them anything. It's kind of that level. Like, what story can you write where the villain is greedy and that's it? Oh, you need a cure for a deadly illness, but they have it, and they don't want to give it because they're greedy. Yeah, but it's not the same like the Borg that are coming and destroying the entire thing, right? But yeah, it's evil, but it's not, like, that interesting. I think, what you could do, though, is if you had, like, a captain that's greedy on a spaceship. But even then, nah, like, greed is just one of those things that doesn't make that interesting stories. It just doesn't feel... I mean, it can make for an interesting episode or two, but, like, after that, it's just, it's not one of the human emotions that can really create drama. RoboCop is a good example of bad capitalists. Yeah, I think like if you want to make bad capitalism, you'd make something where everything is up for trade. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Like this is how you could actually make like the Ferengi evil, but then it doesn't resemble anything we have on Earth. But yeah, you would basically have everything for trade, including human beings, including everything, right? Like body parts. If someone is in debt and they can't pay it, then they have to sell their body parts and stuff. Like, I think you can make a race that's like that. That's a good point, right? But it still wouldn't be as bad as the Borg. But it would be more interesting, right? If they would have made the Ferengi where, yeah, like slavery was legal. Like, any type of trade was legal, right? Like any type of trade. You'd just have... an explanation on why the Ferengi themselves can't be traded, right? Like, basically, like, if you lose a battle, you become someone else's slave. Like, you'd have to bring slavery back, basically. And then you could have, like, an evil capitalist race. Where, yeah, like, every single thing is for trade, including, like, the Delta particle and whatever other destruction thing you can have. But, yeah, RoboCop was corporatism rather than capitalism. That's a good point. They could have brought in slavery, drugs, illegal organ markets. They actually did the illegal organ markets in Voyager. It was a different race. A medical race that was dealing with that. But anyway, right. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.